What's going on, everybody out there? Dave Flatt here, release number 20. This is our July 2022 live giveaway broadcast. And it's the first time, I hope this is working, but it should be broadcasting live on Facebook as well as YouTube this time. And if you're watching on Facebook, appreciate having you. Anyone watching live, if you'd like to leave a comment while we're going with a question or anything you'd like to answer, go ahead and comment, and we'll throw it up there and talk about it. So I'm going to bring on Carrie first. Hey, Carrie.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Adam is not going to join us tonight. He's on a vacation, and he said the power's out, so no Adam this month, unfortunately. But what's going on? What? Fill me in, Carrie. We hadn't actually had a chance to talk that much, honestly.
It's been a busy summer for both of us. And here's Adam. He's on his summer vacation, so it's like I don't think we've even seen each other in over a month.
Been fishing at all?
I've been fishing maybe 3 or 4 times since I've seen you. Got on a really good trout and a flounder bite.
That's good to hear.
And I brought my son on the boat, who's known as the walking banana, and shut it down that day. And then and we came back out and tore it up again the next week. So that's how it goes with him.
You lived up to the reputation, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a vacation up in Carolina Beach, North Carolina, and I asked Judd Brock, who does the Eastern Current podcast, if he was available to fish, because it was like I was going to be right there, right where he is, and he was busy. He had while we were there, we were trying to hang out at the beach, and I mean, the wind was ripping like 30 miles an hour, like umbrellas were flying everywhere, and that pushed his trips back, so he had to reschedule one for the day that he was going to go with me. But he put me with another guy, Captain Michael Bell, who's he kind of guides with Judd, and I didn't recognize him from the podcast, but they're both huge supporters of Release Over 20. And we went out in like the most brutal of conditions you could imagine. It was like still blowing 25 miles an hour steady, bright sun, blazing hot, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I just be prepared. It's probably going to suck." And I'm like, I that's cool with me. I just want to get out. So got to see Cape Fear sort of watershed. Really neat, very pretty. It looks a lot like Charleston. But the notable thing is, like, if you've been following North Carolina's flounder regs, they've had some pretty drastic measures the last year. I think they could only fish like for 3 days in the whole year, only keep flounder. It was like really hard for rec fishermen. The days they were able to keep them, like every landing was slammed. It was just chaos, and everyone's loading up on flounder. And I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. It's difficult because they have still a strong commercial fishery, and it seems like they're kind of punishing the rec anglers. But this year it's like 30 days. But what we saw on that most difficult of days fishing, we still caught 5 nice flounder there, which means there's just a massive abundance of flounder in North Carolina, and we're seeing it trickle into northern South Carolina. And really, to me, what that means is that there's your proof that Mother Nature, if you just back off and let her be, she'll rebound like way faster than you even thought was possible.
Yeah.
And it's just so obvious when you see that right now. So obviously there's a balance. We'd like to go and catch fish, but to me, like, we talked about this, Carrie, it's like, our vision is to not just sustain fishing where it is now, sort of stop the decline just due to overpressure, but it's to reverse time more or less. If we can all start doing this, abundance of fish will improve and the size of fish will improve, and then keep it there. So it just shows it doesn't take a whole lot for things to get a lot better. It just takes a little effort on everyone's part to make a huge difference.
Well, this is the first year that I can remember. You asked me a question when we first met. You asked me a question about flounder and the limits and what I thought 10 fish per day here in South Carolina. And you started that question by how many keeper flounder do you catch in a day? And I'm like, you mean the boat or me? No, just you. How many flounder in a day could you keep what's the most you could have kept? I think my answer was 2. So, and then so they dropped the regulations from 10 to 5, and really that doesn't help because 2 is, but now here's, I'm going to tell you this. I'm catching more 8-10-inch flounder this year than I've ever caught.
Mm-hmm.
They're all getting released right back in. I'm not keeping any flounder. I've just decided, Adam and Glenn, the guys, my regulars on my boat, we just won't keep any flounder anymore, until those populations do come up. But, released over 20 on flounders is going to have a big effect on that too. So
I hope so. And surely what we're seeing is probably, at least in part, due to North Carolina's reg changes, but hopefully it's also like the overall, just like you said, more people like you and me and a lot of our friends we know who are doing it as well.
Yep.
It's well, anyway, I think it's worth saying, like, and you also notice it probably during COVID when there's a lot less people fishing at first. Fishing was great, and also I was listening, I think it was Speckled Truth's latest podcast. They were interviewing a guy from Alabama, and they were talking about right after the last hurricane, the oil spill. There was, all the fishing was shut down, and they said that year and the years after, a couple years after, were like the best fishing in memory, like by a long shot.
Wow.
And that's such a short time frame.
Yeah.
To see such a big effect, it's so obvious that if you just show some restraint, you can make a difference, a measurable difference.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now, but I thought that was something.
That's interesting.
Just being in North Carolina and seeing that on the most difficult day where like you'd expect to get not even a bite, we still had 5 nice flounder. And we had like one or 2 trout. Everything else was flounder. It was great. It made the day fun. Where in other years it might have been, we might have got skunked or maybe caught 1 fish. Abundance is a good thing.
Yep.
So okay, so moving on. So as y'all know, we've always been trying to feature a sponsor every month. And why do we do that? So we don't ask hardly anything from our sponsors other than for them to donate their products, and we in turn turn it around and give it away to people who are practicing release over 20. And I'm a business owner of a fishing company, and a lot of times we get asked to donate stuff, and it's doubtful if really we're getting much back from it. So it was important to me when starting this out that if we're going to ask sponsors to donate something, I feel like they should be feeling like they're getting a lot more back than they're giving us. And they are getting in front of our entire audience of now 10,000 followers on Instagram and growing. And plus they're going to eventually get featured like we're doing tonight. And it just, it's kind of a no-brainer. Like it's like, why wouldn't you sponsor? It's promoting a good cause and you're getting a ton of exposure for your products out there. That's the way I look at it. But now we've got this great platform that you're watching right now. And that lets us do something really cool, which is bring on a sponsor to talk about their products. So I'm going to introduce Decatur from our featured sponsor tonight, which is Mud Minnow Clothing. So, hey, Decatur.
Hey, David, Carrie, how are y'all?
Good to see you.
Doing great. Appreciate having you coming on the show.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an honor to be on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you on behalf of the 3 of us for being a sponsor. And I hope you feel like you're getting a lot more out of it than you're putting into it. You know what I mean? Like it's we're just glad to promote those who help us further our mission here. So
it's a great partnership. With my background being a Colorado fly fishing guide, I was taught release everything. So it's definitely goes with my, I don't know if it's ethos or pathos here. I need to do my homework, but it's definitely the right way to do stuff is this release over 20 idea. I think it's brilliant. So I'm so happy to support it and have y'all support me. So thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. It's like the fly fishing community is probably further along in the conservation path than the rest of the saltwater angling, but we're trying to catch up. So
Yeah.
that's what we're about. So, Decatur, I'm just going to have you hang on. We're going to keep you up on the screen, but we're going to bring on our slideshow here and get rolling with that. So let's go. Here we are. So we always have this slideshow to kind of talk about our results for the last month and also kind of feature our sponsors. So we're going to start here. We usually also do a shout out to a sponsor for some reason. And Carrie sent me this picture. Now you got to tell me what's the background and what's going on here.
Well, normally we'll do the whole thing different. We'll do the featured sponsor first and then do the shout out sponsor. But because Decatur was going to be on here for the first time that we've ever had a sponsor on our program with us, which is really cool, we've decided to do it backwards. So the shout out sponsor is to Fishburne Art. And Fishburne Art, I went on a walleye trip, and that woman you see in that picture right there, she's 94, Pam, 94 years old, turned 94 years old this year. And she let us stay at her house. She's right on the Brazil, right on the Detroit River. We're looking across at Canada, and got to fish with a buddy of ours who took us fishing. He stays at her house for the whole month of May and just kind of takes care of her and stuff. It's not his grandma, but he went to college with one of her sons. She got 6 sons, so she considers him one of her sons. So he brings in different people and they fish them, the whole month of May. So Pam and I went in, my wife and I went in, we got to fish for, 5 days, stayed 4 nights with her. And so my wife and I thought, what a great way to honor her and maybe make a sign Grandma's Fish Camp. And so I reached out to Fishburne Art, and he got back with me, and he had it in the mail in probably 3 weeks and made it in time for their family reunion. And it was just a great time. So anyway, shout out to Fishburne Art.
Yeah, Justin at Fishburne is amazing. That looks incredible, man. That walleye is awesome.
Yeah.
Eventually I'm going to get him to make me something similar to that. I like the style that with like the lacquer over the top. It's really very classy looking.
I think I want a mud minnow. So
there you go. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on and talk about mud minnow. So I'll let you take it over, Carrie.
Okay. Well, I haven't. This is the first time I've ever seen Decatur, but he and I have talked on the phone. We've texted quite a little bit, and he's one of those sponsors that he just reaches out to me and says, "Hey, Carrie, are we okay on mud minnow, stuff? Do I need to send you anything?" And I really appreciate that with sponsors because I hate asking for stuff. But anyway, I want to thank Decatur as a sponsor for, teaming up with us. And it's folks like you, Decatur, that keep us afloat and allow us to reach out and have the funds and, the stuff to give away to make this thing, go as viral as it's gone. So, I was just going to say, I've talked to Decatur a couple different times, got to know him. He's a good person, and his mission statement, which I in a conversation earlier we had, I know he wrote it, and I just want to read it to you because it's pretty cool. His mission statement is a greener earth that is sustainable for the animals, plants, and humans whom were entrusted in it. And I just think that's really cool. So I know Decatur's, it's been a couple of years for you now in the sustainable clothing industry. And I know the whole story is not sustainable, but it's going that route. But getting in that sustainable clothing industry is really easy, right?
Oh yeah, no, it definitely is not, and it took me a minute and my team to figure out this was the right and best thing to do for everyone, including us as a company. It's super challenging to pick from sustainable materials versus non-sustainable materials with colorways and styles. There's just less available than there should be, and hopefully that will change over the next decade where everyone's starting to do this. And I strongly encourage other brands to to do it, because we have to take care of this planet. There's just no other solution than responsibility when it comes to clothing, and then when it comes to the fisheries and the fish and releasing them when they're over 20. So,
how did you get started in this business? Has it been a struggle?
It's definitely been a struggle. I got started, like I said earlier, I was a guide in Colorado in my younger years, and I came back to Charleston and thought about guiding. Really, I'm not as good as some of these other guys. These guys around here really are pros, and I have some health concerns that kind of keep me from guiding, quite honestly. So my love for clothing's always been there. I love clothing. I've always loved it. I came from a family that broke up when I was little and came to a town outside of the suburbs of Atlanta, to a rural town in South Carolina, and went to school. And on the first day, everyone had such nice clothes, and I was just like, I always would love to. It kind of made me fall in love with clothing in the best way possible. And I love graphic art. And like our shirts are really cool. They're made of BCI cotton, which is the Better Cotton Initiative. And they're grown by southeastern U.S. cotton farmers, spun into yarn, and then they're made into shirts that are cut and sewn in Honduras. So it's a good supply chain that's really eco-friendly. We also have hats, like the one I'm wearing, for instance, is not sustainable. When I first started this company, I was more focused on subliminal messaging and things like that, and it hit me like, the more I researched, that the fashion industry is very wasteful, and I realized that we had to be eco-friendly and completely eco-friendly as much as humanly possible for a small company.
So what David's got on the screen right now, tell us about that, because I know that's your future.
That's our newest drop. That'll be out in about 3 weeks. These are non-pocket t-shirts, graphic t-shirts, 5 different designs that are made on the same shirt tech as the last ones, so that they will fit the same. If anyone out there watching owns a Mud Minnow t-shirt, this is going to fit the same. It's just not going to have a pocket. It's also going to be buttery soft because it's ring spun cotton. But I'm so excited about these graphic t-shirts. We also are working on performance apparel. We have been really focused on hemp as a textile, and that has been really challenging to do. It's maybe either a bit ahead of its time or impossible. We'll find out, but we're looking into all kinds of options to do the performance apparel that's sustainable. So this is, again, our newest drop, and it'll be here probably the 3rd week of August, hopefully in some stores, but definitely e-commerce at mudminnowclothing.com, as well as 3 new hats that are 2 are 100% rPET, and then 1 is 50% rPET. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Nice.
Awesome.
And these are our classic logo t-shirt. They come in 4 colors. We've got the slate blue, the sea foam. There's also white and yellow. There might even be some behind me, white and yellow. But yeah, so we've got the logo t-shirts. We're expanding our store really every day. Not every day, but expanding it as much as we can. That follows our mission.
So recently you've just been added into a location. Is that correct?
That is correct. We are an ocean surf shop. So stoked to be there. Our brand is definitely about fishing. That's where our heart is. But we love the water. We love surfing. We love boating. Even a little bit of sailing. We're a water-based brand. And being an ocean surf shop is just awesome. That's such a great surf shop that caters to surfers at Folly, and we're stoked to be there.
Nice.
That's awesome. Well, Decatur, man, thanks again for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for all you've done for us. We appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you guys. It truly is an honor to work with y'all's organization, and I'm very grateful. So thank you all.
Awesome. Well, feelings mutual.
Thank you.
All right. You take care. Have a good night. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Take care.
Awesome. That was great.
Yeah.
So that was our first sponsor shout out, man. It's going to work out really well, I think. Don't
And
you?
here's the interesting thing about this, David, is that he's given us. I think he's donated twice, and both times was like 6 shirts and 6 hats, or 12 shirts and 12 hats. Well, that's been, I mean, because I'm the one that's putting these packages together, I don't just, rob him of 3 shirts every month. I try to spread it out to where I'm taking a shirt from this guy and a shirt from that guy, and, a hat from this guy and a hat from that guy. So his inventory will last him 6 months.
Yeah.
So, for 4 giveaways, as long as we can keep that pool of sponsors, as small as that right there is, then gosh, it's so helpful for the giveaway end of it for me.
Yeah, and if anyone out there is interested, if you have any kind of company that has a product, and just think about anything that an angler would be interested in. Could be apparel, could be fishing lures, could be like a food like garnish or something. It could be anything. But
yeah,
please reach out to Carrie, Kay Browning at releaseover20.org. And let's get you added to the list of sponsors, and we'll shout you out just like we just did here. And we're not keeping it all; we're giving it all back away to people that are participating. So, yeah, please, we'll take sponsors big and small. We're just glad to have anyone here.
We've got a climate controlled 5x10 storage unit, and it's got a shelf in it for bigger items, and it's got a cupboard in it with probably 12 shelves that are just like 2 inches deep, where we keep t-shirts and lures and that kind of thing. Our inventory is always up to date. Anybody that we just make sure that inventory is locked under lock and key, and I'm really the only person that goes in there. So
yeah, so awesome. Well, let's go ahead and talk about our infographics for July. So, as y'all know, July is the summer doldrums. Everyone's on vacation. It's hot. The bite's going to be pre-dawn in the evening, as we all know. So it's pretty typical. We have a little bit decline in numbers, but we actually did still pretty good, almost 150 trout. Flounder and sheepshead continue to get more and more steady and hopefully increasing over time. I think that's encouraging, having 9 flounder and 11 sheepshead. That's pretty good. I still am quite sure there's probably an order of magnitude more people actually practicing release over 20 than are actually entering their fish, and that's great. We hear it everywhere that people are like, yeah, it's a household name, everybody knows about it, whether you're in Texas, whether you're in Virginia, Florida. But that being said, when Devin down in Louisiana made that video, a lot of the comments on his video were like, oh wow, I never heard of that before, never knew anything about it. So we still have work to do with outreach. And one thing we've been talking about, I think we'll have more to say next month, but we're looking to get a booth kind of set up that we can raise money to buy, and then start going to trade shows and things, and helping to get the word out, and doing some more sort of advertising, and just visibility, so people know about us and we can look into it more, and it's only going to help. So yeah, 167 fish released in the month of July. I think that's pretty good. So the state leaderboard, again, we have Virginia in the lead, followed by Florida, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina. It's a very steady kind of curve there. And what I love seeing is New Jersey in there. So those are undoubtedly those are sheepshead. So that's really cool. There's been Qua is up in New Jersey, and he's been doing a bunch of seminars on sheepshead fishing, talk about release over 20, and undeniably that's got to have the watershed of that is what you're seeing there. You've got at least 5 sheep's head released in New Jersey, and that's only going to grow over time too. So really cool. And then last we have the angler leaderboard. Now I need to let you all know that I have a bug in my code for this, and I apologize for that. Someone participating brought this to my attention, and I need to fix it, and I haven't done it yet. What this is showing is, unfortunately, everyone named Jacob is added to the Jacob. It's not a certain Jacob; it's all Jacobs, and that's not right. So I'm going to get that fixed so that these are actually people, and I'm going to see what I can do about maybe getting like a last name, first initial, or something. Kind of keep the privacy, but at least you'll know who's who, and maybe I can do like a first initial, last name, or something like that. But top 10 leaderboard, like I said, it may not be 100% accurate, but we're going to get that fixed. But anyway, let's go ahead and do the giveaways. So what we got in the sheep's head this month, Kerry?
Well, it's kind of the typical same old. We got the leader and got a Carolina first mate net gator, deck of drum cards, playing cards. Looks like some bottom sweeper jigs, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at in that center. Do you know what that is?
I think that might be Twitch fish.
Okay, it probably is. Yeah. And then Waterloo shirt. So it's a pretty nice little giveaway for the sheep's head.
Yeah, heck yeah. So we had 11. Let me just double check this. This is always kind of awkward because I gotta put my screen back and forth. Yeah, we had 11 sheep's head, and I'm gonna share my screen here. Just 1 second. Here we go. Okay, so those are our sheep's head, and random.org 1 through 11. As usual, we do the third roll is going to be the winner. So first roll is 10, second roll is 2, and the third roll is 4. So that is Gerald Gutierrez from Virginia. I know Jarrell, I think it's Jarrell. I'm sorry, Jarrell, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but he's been a very active participant. And you don't have to be a mathematician to know that if you release a sheep's head or a flounder, you got a really good chance of winning, especially if you release multiple in the month. So Jarrell had 3. So he had a 3 out of 11 chance of winning, and he won. So good on you, man. I'll get a hold of you, confirm your address, and we'll get your package out to you.
Congrats.
Congrats, Joe. Okay, so next one is we have 9 flounder. So put this over to 9. Third roll is 3. Next roll is 5. The winner is number 9. And that is Brian Ray from North Carolina. So congrats, Brian. We'll get a hold of you. He had a 23.5-inch flounder release.
Wow, that's a good one.
That's the biggest flounder of the group. And what's also kind of cool is the biggest sheep's head of the group was also the winner. His was 27 inches.
My goodness.
That's a giant. Okay, trout, we have 147.
And we also step up our prizes here too, David.
Yeah.
From about $50 to $75 to somewhere around $150 worth. So it's a bigger prize.
Yeah, much bigger prize. So let's do it. Third roll. So first roll is 117, second roll is 58, and the winner is 47. And that is 47 is Kevin Tran from Texas. We got 3 different states so far. So congrats, Kevin. That's a pretty dang good package you won. And then the last thing is the overall. So we just pick from every entry as like a bonus prize. And that's also a pretty big one, right, Kerry?
Yeah.
You know what I didn't do? So I kind of screwed up.
Now,
So I didn't show the prizes. So
one of those, David,
it never goes perfect.
one of those nice prizes, somebody needs to be an XXL.
Well,
Or else
we'll
they're
probably
going to
know
have to
someone
know
who
an
is, right?
XXL.
Okay, so the overall we had 167. So I'm gonna, after I do this, I'm gonna go ahead and show what the prizes were. So I just got to show this comment here real quick because it's pretty funny. I was talking about the Jacobs. So there's like what 27 first place angler leaderboard was Jacob. Chad says, I thought Jacob's out there living his best life. Yeah. The group of Jacobs collectively did pretty well. Yeah. I think maybe there was 11 was the most Jacobs, if I recall. So anyway, Chad, thanks for your comment, man. Okay, so 167, let's go ahead and pick that. So first roll 43, next roll 106. The winner is 143. And that is right here. And that's Charles Turrell from Florida. So, dude,
Wow.
4 different states.
Oh,
I think
4
that's
different
awesome.
states. That's awesome.
He had a 28-inch speckled trout released. So that's pretty cool.
Hey, that would be like the slam, right?
Yeah.
4 different states.
Yeah, it's a state slam.
That's the release over 20 slam.
That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and show now what the prizes were. So we already showed the sheep's head. So the flounder prize was a mud minnow hat.
Yeah, mud minnow hat. So, again, it's kind of like what it is every month for sheep's head fishing with a little extra thrown in. But
yeah, some twitch clips, some bottom sweepers, boga float.
Yep.
From drawing a blank here. But yeah, boat wash, yeah, good prizes. So
and David, that boat wash too, by the way, you can go on to the next one, but that boat wash, by the way, it's all eco-friendly. You can pour that right in the creek, and I mean he just dropped off a whole nother box of donations last week. So really appreciate that.
Yeah. So here's the trout giveaway, which is really nice. Salt Strong, longtime loyal sponsor, Z-Man, AM Fishing, all been here since the very beginning. Pretty good stuff. Some more drone spot cards. Those things are great for poker night. Yeti hat, yeah. Yeti's not a sponsor yet, but we had.
How do we end up with those hats then?
From Cast It Forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think my family won one of the packages, and we decided to donate part of it back to the pile of giveaway stuff. So
right.
We'd love to have Yeti as a sponsor. We'll work on them. And then lastly, the overall, another big prize. We got,
I think that Waterloo shirt, I think that might be the 2XL. So
yeah.
But the Florida Fishing products, we've still got an abundance of their stuff, hats and net gaiters and that kind of thing. Carolina, this is the Carolina down at the very bottom that you see.
Mm-hmm.
What he did, instead of bringing the big bottles of the boat wash, what I asked him to do was do like a sample bottle. And then what he's done is he put a sample bottle inside of a koozie with a discount of like 25% on anything that you want to buy from them. And they've got a lot of different products. But then you got your Twitch clips and mirror lure, slick baits, slam shadies, looks like eye strikes up in there, and trout trick, and of course the playing cards. So that's a pretty nice little take right there.
Yeah, I think I told you, but eye strike, we got a giant new box of stuff to give away. We'll have probably starting next month. Yeah, and I was drawing a blank before, but and the boga float and the key floats here are from Stinky Pants Fishing.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm sorry guys, it's Stinky Pants. I'm getting old and I'm forgetting.
That's why I kind of let you take over, because I was doing the same thing.
Yeah, the senior moment. So, all right, well, another good broadcast. And Carrie, thanks for joining in. Next month we'll try to get Adam back, see if we can get him away from vacation.
get to hear some more about the financial end of it.
Yeah. And
which I know everybody's on the edge of their seat.
Right. Well, we're having a board meeting in 2 weeks, and I think we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about after that. And be moving on down the line. So thanks again to the Decatur for joining in. We'll be back next month. Everyone else, keep entering your fish, get in on the giveaways, and release fish, win free stuff. What could be wrong with that?
Nothing at all.
Sponsor
all right,
us, get lots of promotion.
Congratulations, everybody who won.
Yeah.
And David, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'll be emailing everybody who won. And yeah, till next time, take care, everyone.
All right, see ya.